All right, the time we're talking about here, I'm talking about, is 1969. Out of nowhere, a man turned up on the Columbia campus and started causing a stir. When the bearded, somewhat disheveled mystery man sat down beside me, I shook hands with the legendary forgotten novelist H.L. Humes. By his own account, he'd been forced to stop writing for physical reasons, not by choice. And every time he picked up a pen, his legs would start to swell up, causing him unbearable pain. The man talked a blue streak, chewing our ears off with a monologue that resembled nothing I had ever heard before. It was the rant of a hipster, visionary neo-prophet.
I suggest that we start with the blueprint for utopia. We've gotten into the pernicious habit of dismissing utopia as impractical. It may be that utopia is the only way out. I mean that quite seriously. It may simply be a fact of history, but the alternative to utopia is hell, perpetual warfare. It looks like we all have to learn how to live like saints and angels just in order to survive, merely to survive.
He'd come to New York on a mission, he told us. There were $15,000 in his pocket. And if his theories about finance and the structures of capitalism were correct, he would be able to use that money to bring down the American government. The $50 bills he handed out to strangers weren't just gifts. They were weapons in the fight to make a better world. He wanted to prove that one could disenchant oneself and break the spell that money held over our minds. Overnight, a chain reaction would be set in motion, and before you knew it, so many 50s would be flying through the air that the system would start to go haywire. Waves would be emitted. Neutron charges from thousands, even millions of different sources would bounce around the room like little rubber balls. Once they built up enough speed and momentum, they would take on the strength of bullets, and the walls would begin to crack.
The key point of the whole thing is he said that in a modern industrial society, money is permission to live, and everybody deserves permission to live.